Game 1 of the semifinals match between twop and leearson. Twop is on the 4-color rally list, while leearson is playing Bant Collected Company. Twop is on the play for Game 1, but is unable to cast anything before a turn 3 Catacomb Sifter, while leearson curves out with Warden of the First Tree into Sylvan Advocate. Reflector Mage from twop bounces the Sylvan Advocate, but no 4th land and an end-of-turn Bounding Krasis from leearson keeps the pressure up. Bounding Krasis and Warden of the First Tree take to the red zone, and a Dromoka's Command is used to fight the Catacomb Sifter and get in for 7 damage. Another Reflector Mage from twop returns the Warden and holds the ground for Eily, Eternal Pilgrim. leearson is able to continue the pressure with an end-of-turn Collected Company, hitting Deathmist Raptor and Sylvan Advocate. A few more creatures enter the battlefield on either side, but with only 3 lands, twop concedes the game after another end-of-turn Bounding Krasis taps down one of his 4 potential blockers. leearson wins the first game. Twop is on the play for Game 2, but leearson is first on the board with Warden of the First Tree into Sylvan Advocate, while twop can only muster up turn 2 Jace Vryn's Prodigy into turn 3 Elvish Visionary. Both players take a few turns to develop out further creatures, but twop has now transformed his Jace into a Planeswalker. The players continue to go back and forth, with leearson resolving 3 of his Sylvan Advocates. Twop responds with what is arguably the most important card in his deck, Nantuko Husk, as well as a Catacomb Sifter. leearson isn't able to make any progress against the ever-imposing board of twop, who has used Jace, Telepath Unbound, to flashback Collected Company to even further his creature count. Eventually, he finds a second copy of Zulaport Cutthroat and is able to sacrifice most of his creatures to Nantuko Husk and drain leearson out of the game, 2 points for every creature sacrificed. leearson is on the play for Game 3 and has a turn 1 Warden of the First Tree, but no 2-drop, and opts to instead level the Warden to a 3/3. Twop has an Eily, Eternal Pilgrim on turn 2, but she is quickly bounced by the turn 3 Reflector Mage from leearson. He continues to apply pressure, but twop is able to stabilize with a Reflector Mage of his own, soon followed by 2 more creatures the following turn. An unblockable Den Protector leaves twop at 4 life, but a 3rd copy of Zulaport Cutthroat immediately followed by an exploited CDC's Faithful means he's still in the game. leearson can do nothing but transform his Nissa into a Planeswalker and watch as twop now drains him for 3 life for every creature sacrificed to Eily, Eternal Pilgrim. Reflector Mage and Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, join the battlefield for twop, who is then able to make a lethal attack the following turn, in conjunction with the multiple Zulaport Cutthroat triggers. Twop wins the semifinals match, 2-1.